My name is Trudo. I'm currently a rising second year at Emory University at their Goizueta Business School in the full-time MBA program. So I am originally born and raised from Southern California. That is home for me. And there I graduated from Loyola Marymount University in 2018 with my bachelor's in marketing and then a minor in accounting. Shortly after that, I started working at a digital advertising agency called Fox Dealer. So a company is based in automotive and tech. So I was there up until grad school. So learned a lot there. I started off as an account manager working with our clients, and then was by the time I had ended at Fox, I was working as their marketing coordinator. So it was fun actually getting to apply what I learned from undergrad, and that's what I'm continuing to pursue during my business school experience. If you had asked me in undergrad if I would have gone back to school, I would have told you no. My goal was 4 years and I was going to be done after that. But one of my friends actually did this pre-MBA leadership program called Reorgan MBA Fellows Program at UCLA. She spoke very highly of it, and it was geared towards underrepresented minorities. So I ended up applying and got into the program and was in it from 2019 to 2020. So that was really my first experience of learning about just MBAs and the business school application process. So that really started to motivate me. And then really during 2020, just everything going on with the pandemic and the George Floyd riots, I had seen a lot of companies following the riots, coming out and supporting, Black Lives Matter, different organizations regarding that. And I'm very passionate about my community. I'm Black and Filipino, and that's my identity is very important to me. So just, uplifting underrepresented minorities and DEI. So I had realized with my marketing background, I wanted to be able to combine my professional experience with something I was passionate about, specifically DEI. And then was interested in making a switch into consumer goods. So I felt an MBA would definitely help that. I knew I wanted to do brand management or product marketing. So did a lot of research regarding, companies I was looking into and people who had these specific positions in brand or product marketing. And I had realized a lot of them had MBAs. So that was kind of my driving force from it. And I just enjoy learning. I really wanted to learn more about just the different aspects that marketing has. And I knew that going back to school and being in that environment again, I would definitely get that learning experience again. The community at Goizueta, I had really felt it while I was even in the application process. So I think being from California, I really didn't know much about Emory. I had a friend actually in the Reorgan program who went there for undergrad. So that was really my only exposure. And then I did actually attended Goizueta's diversity conference. It's called Inside Goizueta. I'm actually fortunate enough to be the lead co-chair for this year's conference. But then it was during 2021, so still virtual. But it was just an amazing event and probably the best event I had attended on Zoom. They were just really intentional about the different events they put on. It was really catering to these underrepresented minorities. And you just also felt the community aspect it's a completely student-led event over, I think, 3 days. And you just felt like the community from the students. So that was kind of my first exposure. And then even talking to students after that, it was just important to, I guess, feel like I could be friends with these people, which is exactly how I felt. Like they were very supportive even while I was an applicant and would offer to look over my resume or different essays I had written. Were sending me things like different blogs and articles to kind of help me with the application process and making my decision. So yeah, I think also the diversity of being in Atlanta, because I am Black, I think I wanted to be in a space where I felt that the school, but also the city would support me as a young Black professional. And I really do feel that at Goizueta and then being in Atlanta also. I guess I felt it was different enough to choose the school and attend it. It just really felt at home to me. I mean, my cohort, for example, we are, I believe, 49% international students, which I think that's a pretty unique stat that I found just when I was entering the program. I just felt when I was talking to students that I just experienced a different, I guess, just a bit more diversity when I was talking to other schools. And you know, I think there's different aspects of diversity of like race, gender, different backgrounds and experiences. I found, so Emory is really big on consulting, but when I was applying, I was able to talk to a lot of students who were pursuing marketing and brand management. So even differences or diversity within different backgrounds of like past professional experience, and then also what other people were pursuing. So yeah, I guess Emory just really stood out to me. Like after I had attended inside Goizueta, it automatically went like to my #1 spot for my schools. And I think it was really that diversity and community aspect that I felt. Also, the dean of the full-time MBA program is, he's a Black man. And so for me, I think it's just also seeing people in these positions of power that look like me and have had similar experience for me was something that was really important and that I was able to relate to and just really make my experience feel like at home during my MBA program. I do enjoy being very involved on campus. I've been like that honestly since high school and then in undergrad, but specifically for my diversity initiatives. So like I had mentioned, I will be the lead co-chair for Inside Goizueta. That conference will be happening in early November. So I'm really excited. We've kind of already, we have a student-led team, and then we're also working with admissions in our program office. So we've already started having meetings and just talking about the different events that we want to hold. So that'll be over the span of about 3 days. And then I'm also the president of the consortium chapter at Emory. So consortium is an organization specifically with MBA programs working towards increasing underrepresented minorities, specifically African Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanic Americans in MBA programs, and then like professional organizations and companies. So I actually just attended Consortium's orientation program, which is their big conference at the beginning of each summer. So it's essentially a recruiting conference. So I went as a liaison to help our incoming class, and I was I remember just me being there last year, and although it's a stressful experience recruiting for, you know, your internship, I kept telling our incoming class, like, I'm so excited for you guys. Like, it was honestly a great time. And that's really your first exposure to some of your classmates. So those are a couple of positions that I hold on campus, specifically geared towards increasing diversity. Going into business school, I knew I wanted to do either brand management or product marketing. And so this summer I am focused on brand management, and I am loving it so far. It's obviously challenging, like anything else that's gonna help you grow, but I do think this is something that I could see myself pursuing in my future post-graduation, years down the line, honestly. I think, you know, one of the aspects I had mentioned about wanting to go back to business school is making that switch into consumer goods. And so I've really enjoyed it so far because I use these consumer goods. It's very relatable. I put myself in the shopper's shoes and think, you know, what would I do on like, why would I purchase this? Why is it enticing compared to other competitors? And so I guess it's just the psychology behind marketing really is just very attractive to me and interesting. And so I could definitely see myself doing this for a pretty long time, honestly. But I know for the most part, I do want to stay in marketing. I think that just business in general, it's very interesting, but I do enjoy the more creative side of it. So I feel like marketing really combines those two. I was really interested and am still interested in working for specifically a beauty company. I'm very interested and fascinated by the beauty industry, whether it's makeup, skincare, hair care, anything that encompasses it. I think I got that bug from like my grandma and my mom, just growing up around them. So that's still definitely a passion of mine. But I think when I received my internship offer, I knew it was a great company to work for, and it wasn't specifically a beauty company. It has, brands that you could switch around and kind of look through that lens. They have like a skincare product that I'm really interested in, but not like the traditional beauty company. So I think that part has changed, and it has opened my eyes to just different opportunities. I think I'm just at this point more so interested in just pursuing consumer goods in general, particularly for brands that I'm familiar with, and maybe I don't necessarily use it, but at least I'm familiar with it. And I just think it's a bit easier for me to relate to it, and essentially at the end of the day, market it to other consumers for them to potentially purchase. So I think that's like the aspect that has changed, just being more open to just consumer goods in general. It has to be at whatever company that I will be at. Just even having it there, but also for myself, I guess another goal of mine is to be, maybe hold a leadership position in one of the employee resource groups that a lot of these companies have. Because although, the company may have these diversity initiatives, but down the line, I want to make sure that I'm also, whether it's holding a leadership position or doing whatever I can to, increase the diversity at these companies or organizations that I might work for. I think that's still going to be a very like important value for me. 5-10 years, I think for the rest of my career down the line, that I would want to see at whatever companies and organizations I'm working for. That's also why I wanted to go back to business school. I think I feel like underrepresented minorities, the numbers are starting to increase within people attending business school, but I think there's still a lot of work to do and a long way to go. So I felt, as a woman of color, why not do it? Why not be, as I've had role models who have gone forth and like pursued their MBA and have gone off to amazing positions. I would want to be that same role model for young women of color, underrepresented minorities, that they feel the same way, that they can do it too, that they can really pursue any dreams that they have.